Hey, welcome everyone to another week, another episode of the Focus TV. Joined by Cardell Dudley Jr. This week, we got Malik Miller here. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. Now, before we get into everything, just real quick, obvious NFL draft week, get into some of that stuff. So, be a lot of noise later this week. Look forward to seeing what Octavia has to say about that next week. That said, it's also the time of year. We got NFL draft immediately. We just had the WNBA draft, and that means the NBA draft is not that far away either, as the NBA is in the first round of their postseason. This time of the year, Cardell, it means that you're in a gym somewhere. You were just down for Portsmouth. So the floor is yours. Who stood out to you this year?
Yeah, man. Obviously, the NBA playoffs have started, and when that started, the NBA pre-draft season has started. First step in that is the top senior showcase at the Portsmouth Invitational. For those that don't know, the Portsmouth Invitational tournament has been around for 71 years. It literally takes place in Portsmouth, Virginia, at Churchland High School. And what they do is bring together about 64 of the top seniors in college basketball to do battle. Guys that trying to improve their draft stock, guys that may have been under the radar in smaller conferences, smaller schools, but got game and have tools that may translate to the NBA. And then you put them all under one roof to battle for 4 days, play 3 games. At the end of the day, a championship is crowned, MVP is crowned, and all tournament team is crowned. And you want to be on that list, and you want your team to be one of the last teams standing, if not win it all, because that makes an impression on the NBA. The top prospects get invited out to the G League combine out in Chicago, or if they really do work, they just get the full invite to the big boy combine, the NBA combine, where they're competing for draft stock, where they're competing to possibly get drafted, get signed, get Exhibit 10, two-way, or get drafted all together, and then fulfill every basketball player's goal of becoming an NBA player. With that said, obviously there was numerous players that stood out, but I'm just gonna give you my top 5 prospects from the week. That doesn't necessarily mean that if you look at Portsmouth All Tournament team, that there weren't more players that stood out, but these are just the guys I feel that you could that translates right away. And you shouldn't be shocked to see them getting an invite, out to Chicago in a few weeks. First up is Musa Cisse out of Memphis, 7-foot center. 7-foot center, around 225 pounds. He's by far the most athletic big there, and he put his athleticism on display. But it's not just that; it's his impact on the defensive end of the floor. He also plays with a high motor. He has an elite shot blocking ability. Another thing that's scary about his defense ability is his range, man. Like, he could be literally underneath the basket and can run out about 2-3 steps and block a 3-point shooter shooting from NBA range. His range defensively is exactly what you want in a big at the next level. Then on top of that, because of his more than athleticism, his speed, when he runs basket to basket, it's a problem. And he takes a lot of gravity with him, because if the big is lazy or he's not paying attention or he just don't have the foot speed to keep up with Cisse, those are easy dunks for him. He's also a very good rebounder, and he's a solid inside scoring threat. When you add that all together, he consistently will always make an impact, and that's why I feel like he's one of the prospects that should get an invite to Chicago. Obviously, I'm not a decision maker, but if I was, he would definitely be one getting that invite. Look, he's still a bit raw offensively. He's not someone you could just throw the ball to, and either on the perimeter or on the block, and he's gonna make something happen. He has to improve his ball handling. He has good mechanics on the shot, but he still has to work on that, so he can knock down shots on pick and pop situations and his free throw shooting. But he also understands how to make him a threat, and that's a testament to his IQ and understanding who he is as a player. He's a scoring threat through rim runs. Obviously, offensive putbacks and offensive rebounding. Definitely lob plays, and when he rolls to the basket, like I said, he takes a lot of gravity with him. If you're not on point, you're going to get dunked on, and he thrives in that. He also has excellent hands. You can throw the ball anywhere. He's going to catch it. Even if he may get bumped out of position to dunk it, he's gonna come down with it and save the possession. And that's an art in itself, because a lot of bigs, if they don't dunk it, ain't no telling what's gonna happen with the ball. And it's basically a bad turnover. And most guards eventually were just kind of like, you know what, I gotta be careful throwing it to him. If it's a lot of people there, it could be a costly turnover. With that being said, since they had the third highest combine score at Portsmouth with the 65.5 score, and I believe with that, in addition with how he impacts the game defensively, and can still be a threat offensively, man, he definitely deserves heavy consideration. Next up is R.J. Felton out of East Carolina, 6'3", 214-pound guard. If the name sounds familiar, yes, he's related to Raymond Felton, former North Carolina All-American, an NBA veteran. Look, and the thing that's special about Felton, he wasn't even the first selection. He was a last-minute addition to Portsmouth, and he made the all-tournament team and was one of the best players there. He's one of the most dynamic scorers, not just in Portsmouth, but in all of college basketball. You know, he didn't waste any time proving that he belonged. Let me just sum it up. When I say he was last minute, that's what I mean. He was the last minute invite. Like all the other players, they came, they did their combine testing before the game started, jersey and shorts. He literally pulled up on what he had on and still tested high. Like he got to it. Like he literally had to get out the car, come in the gym and get to it and not stop until the end of the week. And he put on the show, man. He more than proved that he belonged. He showed the ability to score from all three levels efficiently, and also to show he's a clutch player. Like he got it done in critical moments for his team. In his first game, he scored 22 points, including 4 3-pointers, and followed that up with a game high 25 points in the very next game. You know, he could score in a variety of ways. Obviously, shooting the ball, shooting from mid-range, breaking you down off the bounce. Also got a little post game in his repertoire, and being 6'3", 214, that's a big. His height wise, he's a point guard, but 214, he's bigger than a lot of point guards, and he used that to his advantage. You know, once you put together how he can score the ball so efficiently, how he can break down opponents, and then his willingness to defend any and everyone on the other end. That's the other part that I'm pretty sure a lot of scouts wasn't anticipating. They probably heard about the numbers he was putting up offensively, which is why he got the last minute invite. But seeing him go against the best seniors in the country and get it done defensively, it's no doubt that he boosted his stock, man. And again, I would be shocked if he isn't one of the people that get an invite out there, at least to the G League combine. You know, he did his thing, man, and he definitely represented for that Felton family, man, who's been getting it done in basketball at a high level for a very long time. Next up is Nelly Jr. Joseph out of New Mexico, 6'10", 245-pound forward. The thing I love about Portsmouth is that I'm going to always see, you know, like 2 to 3 players I've never heard of come in there and do work, and he's one of them. Ironically, he won MVP the whole thing, and his team won the championship. Look, he came in known for his physicality and rebounding skills, but he was huge. He was a force for Janai King Run to winning the Portsmouth Invitational Tournament Championship. He averaged 17.3 points and 6.3 rebounds per game, which includes a 24.9 rebound on 11 or 13 from the field performance in the championship game. You know, his impact, look, it extends above the accolades I just read, but his presence in the paint and ability to control the boards were X factor for his team all throughout the week. And, you know, along with his ability to score off the block, understanding how to read defenses from the mid post and low post. You know, he step out, hit the jumper a little bit from the mid range. He understands how to do the dirty work, run the floor, make himself a presence as far as getting easy baskets. Has great hands, man. Like anything near him, he's snatching it up. Even if people are slapping at him and stuff, he drew a lot of fouls. With that being said, like as a guard with a big that catches everything in his vicinity, it just makes life so much easier for you because you feel confident. If I throw it to him anywhere, not only is he going to catch the ball, he's going to do something with it. And if he didn't score inside, he was getting to the free throw line, and he can hit free throws, which is why you saw he scored a lot throughout the week, man. Obviously, with him being MVP and his size and mobility and stuff like that, it's no question he should get the call to go to Chicago, man. But you know, we'll see what happens, man. But he definitely impressed. Like when you coming from a smaller program and you get an invite like the Portsmouth or say the G League, come out something like any pre-draft type of showcase event, the type of week he had is what you want to have. That just puts you on everybody's radar, and then from there on, you in the door, and then you just got to maintain throughout the process, and you're gonna be wearing the NBA jersey in the next couple of months. It's just that simple. Next up, second to last, Sean Pajuria out of Mississippi, 6'1", 195-pound guard. He was arguably the top floor general at PIT, showcasing his scoring prowess and leadership. In the opening game, he posted 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists and 2 steals, leading K&D rounds to victory. Later in the tournament, he scored 22 points, including 2 crucial late free throws to secure a 94-93 win over Portsmouth partnership in a head-to-head matchup with another elite point guard, Penn State Ace Baldwin, local product out of Baltimore, started at St. Francis, played for Team Durant. Pajuria's performance, look, man, it highlighted his ability to control the game, defend at a high level, lead and deliver under pressure, and hit some tough shots. Like when he walks on the floor, he immediately leads. You can hear he's vocal, he's tough, he's leading the way, he's pointing, organizing things. He gets after defensively, like from opening tip, he's on you, 94 feet throughout the game. And he's a great help side defender either. Like if he's in the vicinity, you got to be careful with the ball because he digs down or he rotates over and digs down with purpose. Like he's not just coming over there to flash and just act like he's playing defense. No, he's coming over there to get the ball if you're not careful. So he showed that he was a complete defender. But with his height, you wasn't sure if he could score consistently over tall, athletic players. And he shut all that down. He was hitting tough shot after tough shot over everybody, especially coming out of pick and roll sets, bigs hedging on him, hit him with a move, get him leaning one way, and where they got to recover, all he needs is a little bit of space. And he was pretty damn efficient, man, from all 3 levels, man. So with his toughness, his leadership ability, the way he can facilitate the guys, run a team, and hit tough shots, I don't think I know they're going to nitpick his size, but I don't think that's something that should detour him from getting that call, man. If he wasn't the best point guard, he was the top 2. He's next to the best, man. And and he sustained it throughout the week, man. So kudos to him. He did his thing. And last but not least, Wooger Poplar from Villanova, 6'5", 196-pound guard. One of the event's most dynamic scorers. He has springs in his leg. Like he has dunk contest winning athleticism. Even when he missed, when he took flight and he missed or he got fouled and they knocked the ball loose, it was impressive. Like that's how athletic he is. His first step is lethal, and he knows how to use it and keep the defenders off balance. I was kind of nervous because the first game he played kind of bad, and I'm not gonna lie, it was bad. He was way off. But you got to give certain guys, you got to give the players one game because you understand this is the first time they're playing on a 24-second clock and out of their college systems. So a lot of them are coming with the ingrained habits of what they did in college and the system they played in, moving the ball, getting an extra pass, that type of thing. But you can't do that with an NBA shot clock because it's 24 seconds. Whereas in college, you might have 15 seconds to make that extra pass and navigate things. Man, the league is about 7 seconds left when you get the ball. You got to make something happen because that extra pass, if you're going against a decent defensive team or a decent defender, they're going to make life tough. So you catching the ball, you got to pivot, you got to protect the ball. Next thing you know, it's down to 5 or 4 seconds. And then you got to force up a tough shot, and that's what they want. So once he got adjusted, he really adjusted. He really adapted. He had a memorable performance of 31 points and 10 rebounds in the win over Roger Brown. And then, that really just cemented everything. Obviously, he made a all-PIT team, and he averaged 19 points and 5.3 rebounds throughout Portsmouth throughout the entire week. Like I said, his first step. He can get to the basket. He can finish over bigger opponents. He has runners. He has floaters. He can go left. He can go right. He can shoot the mid-range. He's a variety of moves off the bounce to set up mid-range scoring opportunities. He can hit threes off the bounce. He can hit threes spotting up, and he can hit threes on the move. So when it comes to scoring the basketball, being a good rebounder and defender because of his athleticism, he checks all boxes, man. You know what I mean? So I could see him easily being in the running for, you know, a two-way deal, if not something better, depending on what he does how well he plays throughout the pre-draft process, man. But look, for more on who stood out over the 4 days of Portsmouth, man, just visit finestmake.com and check out my article. There's definitely a few more prospects that warrant some strong consideration.
Shout out to everyone who did make your list. And like you said, get over there and check that out every year. Learn these names. You'll be surprised. I know it's happened the last couple of years, partway through the NBA season. Names are familiar. You see them come around again for those young men that take advantage of the opportunities. And that's what it is. Everyone doesn't always capitalize, but those that do will end up hearing your name later. Then eventually some that really take advantage of it, you know, like you talk about the Exhibit 10, two ways, G League. Some people end up carving out rotation minutes.
Or being better than that. Derek White, Jimmy Butler.
Champion, sir.
Yeah.
You know, like that's out there. So that's why this is important every year. Appreciate that you go. And obviously that people really try to take turns, learn some of these names, man. It is a huge, again, that whole cliche job interview thing for the NFL draft. Same thing here for NBA pre-draft season. It's huge. Everybody's not always in Chicago for the big draft, the big combine. It's not always. Everyone's journey is different. But shout out to these young men that take advantage of these opportunities like this, because, hey, man, it's huge. It's huge. Change everything. Gonna move on real quick. Again, it's NFL draft week, like 72 hours out from first round, and then they dragged it out even more this year. And then first round, then day 2's second and third round, day 3, 4th through 7th. That said, in the NFC East, we'll start with the Cowboys. Let you guys know where everyone is selecting. The Cowboys are selecting 12th overall. We've heard Octavia go down and give a whole spiel and break down what every team needs after last season. That said, they're 12th overall in the first round. Second round picks, 44. Third round pick is 76. They have multiple picks in the 5th round. No 4th round picks, though. They got picks 149 and 174 in the 5th round, one of which is a compensatory selection. Round 6, they have multiple selections in that round. Got pick 204 and 211. And then round 7, 217, 239, and 247. 217, by way of a trade between the Titans. Well, this pick came from the Titans and then the Patriots. 239 came from the Packers and the Titans. And 247 came from the Chiefs and the Panthers. So they stay put, don't move around. These are their selections. Having multiple 6, multiple 7s, maybe you can package that with something if you so choose to move up and get into the 4th round where you have no picks. But we will see. The New York Giants, 3rd overall, man. A whole lot of discussions are being had about what's happening at the top of the draft. We will see. I know at one point it was all about, what quarterback possibly. Man, they got 2 veteran quarterbacks in that building now as they head into the draft this week. So at least for me, I don't expect quarterback. We'll see what they end up doing. They got Russ and Jameis. So they have a very, very, very powerful and praying quarterback room over there in New York. 2nd round, 34th. They picked near the top of the 2nd round. Multiple thirds, 65th and 99. The 99 selection is a comp pick. They do have a 4th round pick, unlike the Cowboys. That's pick 105. 1 pick in the 5th round, 154. That's coming from a trade with Malik's team, the Seahawks. That's where that 5th round pick is coming from. Then they have 2 picks in the 7th round, picks 219 and 246, the second of which came by way of the Buffalo Bills. And I'm not here to do Octavia's normal introduction for her Philadelphia Eagles, but the Eagles will be picking last in the 1st round, which is usually what happens when you win the whole thing. They'll be picking 64th in round 2, 96 in round 3. In the 4th round, 134. And I need when the Eagles call you to stop picking up the phone, because they got their 4th round pick back from the Lions. They traded that pick and then reacquired it from them. 134 in the 4th round. In the 5th round, they have picks 161 that came from the Texans, 164 That passed hands from the Lions and the Browns. 165, which came from the Commanders, and then lastly 168. Fifth round's a busy round. Good team. Scouting is very important. Good organizations. You can do a lot with multiple picks in the fifth round. You know what you're doing. Again, also got the possibility of moving up. But that concludes things for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Washington Commanders, if you're wondering why they might, when I go through this, it seems like they don't have enough picks. They traded for Laramie Tunsil. It costs picks. You get one of the tackles on the upper echelon in the league. It costs things. That said, they kept their first round pick, 29th overall. Second round is they're picking 61, no third round pick. The fourth round pick they did get back from the Texans during that trade for Laramie Tunsil is 128. In the sixth round, they picked 205, and lastly in the seventh, 245. But I want to ask you guys, Malik, start with you and then Cardell. Personally, for your respective teams, is there anything on your wish list you have going into this weekend's draft? Malik.
On my wish list to go into this year's draft, the Seahawks, we're somewhere in between 16 and the 21st pick, or we're somewhere in the middle of there. Or for a lot of years, we haven't had a first round pick due to acquiring Jamal Adams. So, but I think we do have one this year.
Pick 18, sir.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I knew it was like between 16 and 21, like literally. 18, it's not gonna be any quarterbacks there. I think we have a quarterback. I think they have a quarterback. We don't have a quarterback, but I think you feel me? I think the Seahawks have a quarterback. We need some defenders. Our run defense is below subpar. We can't stop anybody. We have a lot of speedy guys on our back end. Woolen, we got Love. We got a lot of skillies, but we need some bigs. We need to go at 18. All the quarterbacks. That quarterback thing is cool. We can definitely get an interior defender or an edge rusher. Anything inside the box, any box players, we can get them, and we can get them at a high rate because they're going to be top one, top two of their positions still left on the board due to the fact that we have the 18th pick. So any of those defenders, we just need one of them. We just need one of them to so we can be able to defend in our division. We got the 49ers still got Christian McCaffrey. The Rams play great football. The Cardinals play great football. And when I say great football, I mean great football into where our weaknesses are. Again, the run defense. So all of them teams can run on us and will run on us to win games. And the Cardinals run it two-way, two-headed monster. The Rams, Matthew Stafford can win a game, but it's like, what can't they do? Like, so with us being in our division, so if we can get a defender, an interior defender, that's what I'm asking for without, you see what I'm saying, getting them on my hands and knees.
I'm not mad at you. Want somebody in the box.
Right.
I can respect that. Cardell, anybody on your wish list for your Broncos?
For my Broncos, we need a running back in the worst way. We need a running back, man. To help our young boy at quarterback, man. I don't think we had a running back that got close to 1,000 yards last year with extra games in the NFL. That's a problem. That's a problem. I keep hearing about the kid from North Carolina, Omarion Hampton. He's kind of the Sean Payton type running back, fast but strong, 3-down back. I think he ran like a 4.4, 4.5 at the combine. 3-down back, power. Somebody that can handle the workload right away. So somebody, if he's the best, I gotta watch more film. If he's the best available prospect, that's what I keep hearing from all the Broncos people. That's what I'm saying. But I know for a fact, definitely need a running back in the worst way, so we can have a balanced attack. It's just not always like, one trick thing. Like he got, our young boy quarterback, he got to work miracles to help us score points and whatnot. With the offseason moves we made, the defense is pretty set. Might want to add another linebacker. I know we got your old linebacker, Greenlaw from the 49ers or whatnot, but he's had some injury history. So let's just get an insurance policy in case he goes down, to make sure the defense stay on point, because that's pretty much set for what it is. We just need to score some points and move the chains. And then, we'll be all right. And maybe later in the draft, the second round or whatnot, get another tight end. Like explosive tight end, someone you can rely on, because we've seen what it has done for another quarterback in our division who I don't want to name because I'm tired of I'm just tired of the dude, right now. But until further notice, man. But yeah, man. You keep hearing about the kid. Another one, just like Amari Mason Taylor at LSU. Keep hearing about him. Just a natural. Everybody got a very, very high, thoughts on him. Very, very good things to say on him just catching the ball, moving the chains, man. And I think that's the next step for us offensively, man. Instead of having to deliver on home runs and our defense scoring points, that we got to be able to move it orthogonally. It's similar to basketball. You can't just rely on threes and layups. You got to be able to operate in the half court. And right now, last year, we struggle in a sense in the half court. We struggle moving the chains. We can get that where we can consistently go down the field, and even if you don't score a touchdown, get 3 points. If we can consistently move the chains and be in position to score, we're going to win a lot more games and, have a lot to say at the end of the season.
All right. My wish list is so very short. Just rebuild the defensive line, stop the run, let the defense be great again. That's it. I don't want much. And no complaints, man. It's so simple. Defense was elite when you stopped the run. Don't stop the run. Defense been trash. Oh, so easy. Like, hey, you can't run. You got to earn the right to rush the passer. And you've been trash defending the run for 2 years, 2 coordinators. So an edge that can set an edge. I don't care about his pass rushing ability. Sir, stop the run. I don't care. Salah's back. You can blitz some pressure. I don't care about none of that. I want to see 3rd and 8 again. I like that life as a Niners fan. I don't like 3rd and 3. James Conner was just committing unspeakable acts to both my team's defense and Malik's. Speak firsthand. Malik's running backs. Everyone in our division was doing things they couldn't dream of doing in years prior, but they were having fun. So yeah, I need a real simple draft, man. Real old school, like get some fat people up front that don't let people run. Everything just take care of itself again. It's so simple. At 11, what I really want, I want Michael Williams from Georgia. Seen everybody talking crazy. He's not rushing the passer. Guess what? I don't care. You know what he does do very well? You don't run like that's done. Nobody run on that side against Georgia. All them people Georgia got, you know what side they didn't run to? Michael's side. You know what I would like? Michael, opposite Nick. Want to know what I want between them? 2 big human beings that even if they don't go forward, you can't move them backwards.
Can't move them backwards.
I don't want much. But everybody's like, oh man, rush the passer. Right? You got scheme and stuff for that. That's fine. What I want is, how about you keep my linebackers free so he can be great? That's what I would like. So I don't want much. Just I need a real nice, boring meat and potatoes draft. And there's 11 picks. I don't care what you do with the rest of them. For the first 3, I want an edge and 2 defensive tackles. Go crazy. I don't care what you do the rest of the way. All right, Carter, where do you want to go from here? We're going to take it and leave it, or?
I have a question about that.
Go ahead.
Like, with being a 49ers, guy, like, losing Deebo Samuels, injured Christian McCaffrey, Brock Purdy is top 14 to 17, like we said. No offensive guys. Because I'm not gonna make a case because I'm on that side too. But
I got you. I will run through it real quick so we keep it moving. So, when you pay a Shanahan, that's his problem. He'll figure it out. I don't care. Went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy. I don't care. That means anything's possible. I truly don't care.
Okay.
I just don't care.
He said as long as he's there, he said he can work with it.
It's you pay him that much money to give him a lighter, a half-eaten sandwich, run the ball, scheme somebody open. I don't care. But nah, seriously, like, fix the defense. The offensive stuff, like, Ricky was fine. Brandon to be back eventually. Like, bro, they were moving the ball with Brian Hoyer and Marquise Goodwin. don't care what happens on offense. I don't care. They moved the ball last year. Like, they literally make the playoffs last year if they, what's that thing called? Stop the run. So, yeah, go fix that. But go ahead, Carter.
Yeah, we're going on take it or leave it side of things, man. In an extensive survey taken by The Athletic and released today, Tyrese Halliburton, Indiana Pacers Olympian, All-Star, was voted the league's most overrated player, while Cade Cunningham was voted its most underrated. Halliburton, 25, averaged 18.6 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 9.2 assists per game in his fifth NBA season. The 23-year-old Cade Cunningham, on the other hand, put it all together this year, made his first All-Star game with averages of 26.1 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 9.1 assists per game. So, for the league's most overrated player vote, Tyrese Halliburton obviously led the way with 14.4%. Rudy Gobert was second, 10%. Trae Young third, 8.9%. Jimmy Butler, 5.5%. Brad Beal, 4.4%, along with Draymond Green, John Morant, and Julius Randle. Joel Embiid was 3.3%. Giannis, 2.2%. Dylan Brooks, 2.2%. And Paul George, Tyler Herro, Drew Holiday, Jaren Jackson Jr., LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma, Domantas Sabonis, Zion Williamson, and everyone else who they say no one who reached the NBA is overrated. But for the most part, you get my drift. Tyrese Halliburton, take it or leave it that he's the league's most overrated player. Lee, I'll start with you, buddy.
Absolutely. Out of this list, I'm compiling their top list and then I'm breaking it down from there. It goes my top three out of who they said would be Tyrese Halliburton, Zion Williamson, and Kyle Kuzma. Then out of those three, it goes. We just came off of an Olympic summer. You were not. It's not looking how the Olympic team guys the summer they come off looks. So I see why people say he's the most overrated player right now. Zion Williamson, people say he's injured. He has injury prone. Absolutely. A lot of people get injured. A lot of people come back to work. A lot of people try to fix their problem. I don't think he's actively trying to fix his concept of what he got going on. So, but Tyrese Halliburton right now is definitely in the hot seat with the season. They definitely made the playoffs, being a very higher seed, but he's not he's not doing Team USA type things right now.
What makes him overrated? I'm just curious from your perspective. What makes him overrated?
Where so like my focus was right there, how they voted him most overrated. He's off the Team USA summer. The threshold that Team USA players are held at to even accomplish the thing. Is he overrated? No. Is he having a underwhelming season compared to what he just had and the question that they probably had and how it was understood, how I understood it to be? I definitely think he's the guy right now because he's definitely made me scream at my TV a few times this season because he's the guy in Indiana. So he's the people are expecting him to be more than just a regular guy in Indiana.
No doubt, I got that. But I'm saying, what specifically makes you feel overrated? Because it has to be a skill or something about his game that makes it.
That's overrated. I feel as though, well, boom. So that takes me to why I said he was the top answer. To answer your question, why the most overrated, I would say would be Kyle Kuzma. Out of the top three I picked, and they were all for different reasons. It would be Kyle Kuzma. I don't think, especially with the trade, even the trade being with him going from Washington to Milwaukee, some people on the social medias were calling it a new big three. He's there to do the things that Chris Middleton couldn't do because he was older and things like that. I don't think the talent that Kyle Kuzma brings on the offensive end and the maturity that he has is enough to do the things he needs to do for the Bucks, which i.e. would be him being overrated because that's not what they brought him in there to do. Is not what he can do.
Got you. But what about Tyrese Halliburton is overrated?
What about Tyrese Halliburton is overrated? his winning ability to this point.
All right, Wilson, your thoughts? Do you agree? Take it or leave it.
With this, I'm gonna leave this. I know Tyrese is annoying because he talk a lot, and I think he's one of the people just naturally when he opens his mouth, he just enrages people. He's annoying because he does it for me. Then I got to remember I got to separate what Tyrese like. I got to separate what comes out his mouth from his play because I can't knock his play because your team's in the playoffs. You play to win. Your job is to lead your team forward. You did it enough in the playoffs. That said, like, I know, sure, statistically, you want to nitpick. Like, yeah, this year is down like a little. But at the same time, in the playoffs, he's doing his job. And then, like, with the Team USA thing, I get some of that. But I also think some of the thing is for everyone, and I'm not talking about you, Malik, I'm just saying, at the most part, for everyone that feels this way with Tyrese, if it's about his game, are you expecting something that you shouldn't be expecting from Tyrese? Because in terms of what Tyrese brings to the table, I'm kind of like, Tyrese is exactly what Tyrese has always been consistently. So to me, he's very much, he's almost like on brand. Like he's almost exactly what Tyrese Halliburton is for me. On this list, there's several people like even the Rudy Gobert thing. Y'all got to let this go. He's damn good at his job. Please stop. Like we got to stop this. He has a job. He does it well. Your favorite player's favorite player doesn't really attack him one-on-one. Everyone takes the long way around. Most time than not, which means he's doing his job. Like I think like for Trae Young might be up there for me. Bill might be up there for me. Embiid's up there, but I'm gonna let that go. I'm trying to be a better person right now. PG for sure. I don't know what has Drew Holiday done to all y'all that he's on this list. Like
lock their ass up and won.
Because
that's all they do.
Bro, y'all don't put this man in stuff. Y'all better have me just change my name to Drew Holiday's public defender, apparently. But yeah, just for me, I'm leaving it. Like I said, I get it because when he talks, it has an effect. But his game's his game, and I feel like his game's consistently been his game. And what he brings great value for the Pacers.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaving this. One thing about these players, they love to blame the media and fans for everything else, but they worse in their evaluation critique of each other and stuff like that because it's a lot of bias, it's a lot of little behind the scenes drama that you don't know about that impacts that. Look, I get Tyrese Halliburton. He does talk a lot because he pisses a lot of people off. I'm pretty sure he's talking very reckless, and by his stature, the light skin thing, let's call it what it is, they're looking at him like, you really not about that life. Y'all know what they're saying. I know what it is. Like, you're doing it between the lines, but if we was on the street by ourselves, you wouldn't be saying that. That's how a lot of cats are probably looking at it. But let's look at the facts on the basketball court. The one thing about narratives I hate is like a lot of people are lazy. They don't pay attention to do their own research to see what's going on. So let's see. He led the Pacers to the 4th seed where they are around 50 games. That's not too shabby. This year he averaged 18.6 points, 2 below last year. He averaged 20.1 last year, 2 below last year, 9.2 assists, 1 below last year. Last year he averaged 10.9. Steals, he averaged 1.4, slightly better than last year, 1.2. Turnovers, 1.6. Last year, he turned the ball over one more, 2.3. Free throw percentage, about the same, 85% each season. 3-point percentage, this year, 38%. Improved. Last year, he shot 36% from 3. Look at the field, same, 47%. Where's the bad play? And that's with the slow start he had coming off the Olympics. So I'm trying to look at the facts. Where's the bad play? In a lot of areas, he actually had a better season than last year individually. And his team won 50 games. And right now, they on pace to get the Bucks up out of there. So I don't understand where all the extra stuff is coming from. You know what I mean? If you just look at the facts, you ain't got to like a dude if he getting on your nerves in between the lines. That's one thing, but you gotta be real and just call a spade, man. You ain't gotta like him, but if he nice, he nice. Because at the end of the day, if he was just talking trash and wasn't doing nothing, you wouldn't even pay him no mind. You'd like, this dude just talking. The fact that he's irritating people is because he's good and he's backing it up. Because that's my thing. If a dude gonna talk, cool. Now it's my job to shut it down and stop him and shut him up. And very few people have been able to do that so far. So I just don't get the overrated stuff. I can see a lot of I just see a lot of shade and hate and bias for other people, man. You know what I mean? Because it's like, man, look, if he that overrated, why don't y'all stop him so he's not even rated at all? You're not even paying him no mind. You see what I'm saying? And Rudy Gobert, come on, dog. Like, I'm with Wilson. Y'all, people gotta stop that. Because see, and this is why I know a lot of people don't watch the games. I've done seen a whole lot of people duck Rudy Gobert when they on the floor. They will dribble the air out the ball to avoid that, man. So I don't want to hear that. Like, he's a presence inside. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the beef is. I don't know if it's because he make a lot of money doing what he's doing. He helps a lot of team win. That's all I know. His impact is felt. He makes an impact and the team wins. Enough said. Trae Young, he got to get better defensively. And even offensively, they're like he put up numbers, but he's inefficient. So, but he cold-blooded with the game on the line. He'll hit big shots. He's not afraid. But in certain parts of his game, he definitely got to improve for the team to get to the next level. Jimmy, Jimmy rubs certain people the wrong way. It depends on what side you on with him, man. I'm not even going to touch the Brad Bill and Draymond and the Ja. I'm leave that alone. Some of these other cats, you can see why. Dylan Brooks, another one, PG. I'm not touching PG. No.
Kyle Kuzma.
No, you know what I'm saying? So, like Drew Holiday, come on, bro. Like, and then even LeBron. I'm not the overwhelming LeBron fan that a lot of people are, but you gotta respect game. If he overrated, why haven't y'all been able to retire this man yet? That's all I want to know. Like, retire him then. You see what I'm saying? So, seems like if you look at this list, it's a lot of players that continue to get it done. So it seems like it's some bitterness for some cats who can't deal with them. So, yeah, man, it's just a wild list, man. But it just further shows that players like that, like we know more and all that. It's like, come on, bro. A lot of them be on BS too, which makes it even worse because they know better and really know what's going on to not be on BS. You can't bring personal stuff into certain things, man. You gotta call a spade a spade. You may not like them or her, but call it like it is. Just tell it like it is. If they nice, they nice. What's wrong?
Bro, I just realized Domas Sabonis was on this list. I can't.
Yeah. Is this what I'm saying?
I can't. I'm sorry. Just
come on. It was Drew Holiday, and I'm like, man, it's a whole lot. Come on, Giannis, dog. Really?
Yeah, they put Draymond Green on there. Like, people say he averaged 25 and 10 or something. Everybody knows exactly what he brings, the stat line he's had, and what he brings to the table.
And you know what a common thing with a lot of these players are? They've gotten paid.
Yeah.
They got them 9-figure deals, and that's pissing people. That's all it is. But I'm gonna leave that alone, man. We're gonna move on, man. These cats are hilarious, man. We're going another question for take it or leave it. In a close second half throughout, Kawhi Leonard, man, he delivered for the Clippers, dropping 39 points, scoring clutch bucket after clutch bucket. Denver dominated LA on the glass. The Nuggets simply didn't have an answer for Leonard down the stretch as he led the Clippers to victory. Looking back on his performance, former Clippers star Lou Williams made a bold take on Leonard's all-time status when debating all-time small forwards on FanDuel TV's Running Back. Williams boldly placed Leonard ahead of Boston Celtics legend Larry Bird, with LeBron James being number one and Kevin Durant being second, taking up the top two spots. Even though Bird has 3 MVPs and one more NBA Finals win than Leonard, Williams didn't shy away from making a bold take. Look, while recency bias does come into play here, there's no denying the talent of Leonard, aside from his offensive game, where he has improved as a shooter. Over the years, Leonard is one of the best defenders of his era with 2 Defensive Player of the Year wins. In an argument where Bird is often never debated, Williams made a bold take in favor of his ex-teammate. After the win, James Harden was asked if his teammates gets properly appreciated. Quote, not even a little bit. Harden answer. It's always a negative. It's always what he's been through and what he's not able to do just because of something he can't control. Wilson, take it or leave it. Larry Legend, 4 for him. Lou Williams all time. Small forward list.
I'm gonna lead a whole list, man. I'm happy that you played with Y. I'm happy that Y is healthy. Y is one of my favorite players to watch in the league. I thoroughly enjoyed watching Kawhi do what he does, closing that game last night. I'm very grateful that the Clippers have figured out the situation to maximize, the back end of his career so they can get the most out of it. And I hope that this, they're able to continue this until, he hangs them up. Kawhi's another one of them dudes when we talking about, when not to get too far to the left, but people talk about Bron's longevity, whatever, right? There's a lot of dudes during that time who have been outstanding. I feel like, you talk about Bron, you can't bring up Bron, at least talk about that position during his time. You can't talk about him without talking about the other two that Lou had. That said, leave Larry alone. We gotta stop, man. Just a little bit. Let me be the old man yelling at clouds, but like winning and stuff still matters. That said, like Kawhi, unfortunately, because of the injuries, he's one of them dudes where it's like in that it's not fully in the Grant Hill Penny type box where it's like, damn, or Brandon Roy box was like, damn, I wish we could have got X more amount of years because we've gotten more from him than we've gotten from them. That said, we've still been cheated of what we could have got from Kawhi Leonard, right? And I don't think anybody will deny that. That said, I'm gonna need this era of NBA players. Some of your peers are outstanding and incredible, and that's great. Let's wait till let everybody hang them up and start having those discussions or whatever. Or if somebody does jump somebody, it'll happen organically. I don't need the public campaigns for no reason. And the reason I don't like the public campaigns is because it's not like you're presenting, like you're taking the time to talk about what Larry did or Larry meant or the different parts of the game that, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just going, the guys I know are better than the older guy that I didn't play with, which isn't fair to Larry. And that's not to say, like, say in 5, 10 years, 5, 6 years or whatever, like if somebody has listed the list, that's cool. Some of this stuff is subjective and that's great. But the way that this group routinely knocks each other down to build narratives is so disgusting. This is right off the heels of apparently Chris Bosh isn't a person. It doesn't matter because I have to continue to build things, which is crazy. I'm just sick of, if you have to do all that, you're doing too much. Like, we're all happy Kawhi's healthy, dog. We are all so happy. Just stop there. Hey, that's one of my favorite teammates. I'm happy to see him healthy, doing what he does best. That's vintage Kawhi. That's all you needed to do. Leave all the other stuff alone. For me personally, I just gotta leave it, man. Just stop doing that stuff, especially when you go cherry pick the older person. That's one more than everybody else. Just stop. Just like stop doing that. It doesn't make sense. Like other sport, like every sport has moments or whatever, but like basketball feels like they go out their way to just be like, history. Why? Because y'all do know what's gonna happen. Like, 10 years from now, they're gonna be talking about this era crazy. And I hope I'm here to just laugh. Because if they were calling the people the 90s plumbers, I can't wait. What was it? I saw what was the clip? It was an older player, and he was like pretty much folks playing against SoundCloud rappers these days. I'm like, bro, this like that's what's going to be said about some of these dudes in a little while. Like when the magnified glass gets held up, there's going to be a little kid in 15 years going, weren't no centers in the league. You want to tell the little kid they wrong, or what you going to do? But yeah, we just got to stop. Just Can we just have stuff in moments and stop doing that? Stop shitting on everything beforehand.
Appreciate everything.
Man, just appreciate it. Like, you could have just mentioned Kawhi, just left. You just did it. Why did you choose option 8? That's
Malik, take it or leave it.
I'm leaving it. Yeah. I might say Wilson said everything that there is to be said about this. You just gotta show appreciation for. You can show appreciation for the old and show appreciation for the new without single-handed. Thank you for saying he's better than Larry Bird, so we can see how serious you're taking it. But there's definitely a different route you can go about getting to that conversation, unless we're getting into the breaking it down of talent versus talent, or we saying career versus career, or things like that. And it being your teammates, definitely, like you said, just bias, just the homie appreciating his homie, giving him the shout out, things like that, but leaving it where it's at.
But see, that's the problem where looking out for your homie. As a journalist, what they say in media, when you get in media, you're supposed to be objective. All that's supposed to be put aside, and you're supposed to tell it like it is, not how you want it to be. That's the problem with them. That's why I'm like, don't put us that are credentialed media and went to school and was educated and been doing this for years. Don't put us with them. They're in media. They're not journalists. It's a different ball game. It's like saying, yeah, you play basketball. Yeah, you're a weekend warrior. Yeah, you do play basketball, but you're not a basketball player. Don't. Those are two totally different things. You're not playing to better your life. You're not playing in high school. You're not playing in college. You're not playing it to make it your livelihood, where it's literally a big portion, a main focus of your life. It's not the same as being a weekend warrior and going to the rec center and just hooping. It's not the same. I love Kawhi. Wilson definitely knows me for years. He knows how I feel about two-way players. He knows how I feel about Kawhi. But he never will be on Larry Legend's level. And the injuries are a big part of that. But it's not just the injuries, it's the overall totality of his game. You can break it down game for game. As great of a scorer and shooter as Kawhi is, he's not Larry Bird. Larry Bird is a multiple-time member of the 50-40-90 club. You don't get more elite than that with efficiency. His career average, 24, 10, and 6. Career average, 24, 10, and 6. That's an all right night for him, 24, 10, and 6. In the 80s where you could f each other up, right? Again, I love Kawhi. This ain't no shade of Kawhi. I'm just putting the facts out there once again. 3-time champion. 3 straight final MVP. 3 straight regular season MVPs, 84 to 86. During that period, Magic in the league, Isaiah, whoever you want to add in, Dr. J, at the end of his career. Jordan coming on the scene and stuff like that. There was no doubt he was the best player in the game during that 3 years. Nobody, Jabbar, nobody was touching him. He was MVP 3 years in a row. Okay. 12-time All-NBA. 12-time All-Star. Here's the thing that people don't always talk about, though. He was a 3-time All-Defensive player, too. Come on, man. Like, look, dog, he wasn't Kawhi defensively, but it's pretty damn good. 50-40-90. Only one on that list that's with him is Kevin. But Kevin isn't the rebounder passer that he is. LeBron, if you want to say LeBron was a better, I give it to you with the longevity, what he's accomplished, 4 rings and all that. You say he's the greatest small forward of all time, which I do say. No doubt. Can't even argue that, even though I feel like Bird at his peak during that 3-year period, yeah, I don't know LeBron touching that at any point in his career because he was on some other stuff during that period. It was like when you got killers, like real killers in every hood across America, like, yeah, magic. But then when, it's around certain people, that's a badass white boy. I think he got magic. It was real. Like, I talked to the old heads. It was a hot debate back in the 80s. It was, man, I mess with Magic, Dr. J, man, but this young boy Mike coming, but damn, that white boy bad as a muff. Like, it was just like that. He was so cold, he made brothers have to just be like, hey, man, he the best, bro. I want to hate so bad, but this is a cold-ass white boy. That's what they would say. They say it to this day. So, nah, you can't be biased. And that's why when they talk, a lot of them talk, it's hard to take them. You can't take them serious because it's coming from a place. And again, to me, it's worse because they know better. It's different than a reporter who's just looking for a story, don't have no basketball acumen history ever. It's different with them. And even with them, they should get checked too if they out of line with not speaking on the facts and doing research, understanding what they're talking about. As players, you know better. You know better. Now, if Kawhi would have stayed healthy and been able to put all these other years where he was out, unfortunately, together and all that, it might be a different thing. You know what I'm saying? It might be, but we'll never know. You know, unfortunately, that's what it is. Just like if Bird didn't mess up his back, if technology was better, maybe he plays 15 to 20 years, then it's really out of reach. Then it ain't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could say a lot of things. All you can go off is the body of work, the individual game. And Kawhi body of work with this individual game don't surpass his Larry Bird's overall body of work with his individual game. It just doesn't, man. So, you know, and I love Kawhi, but come on, man. Y'all gotta stop doing this. Let players earn stuff. Whereas without doubt, it is what it is. Just like when Bird was coming up, wasn't nobody saying he was better than Dr. J or John Havlicek and all the top small forwards at that time. You know, Bernard King and all. Like, he had to earn it. It ain't take long for him to earn it, but he earned it. So you gotta let people put in the work and get where they're trying to go, man. We gotta stop with this recency bias, and it's just bias overall for this era, because what you're doing is turning people off, and then also you're hurting the game overall because you teach these young kids not to respect history, just respect what's going on now. And you know, it's a saying: the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's ironic this weekend you see where everybody's saying, "Man, the playoffs been like that," and we just like, "Gee, I wonder why." Maybe that the physicality is being allowed to be, it's a balance now. You could defend, you could be physical now. So you're seeing cats have to earn everything, and the intensity is naturally going to rise. Isn't that the same thing all these OGs been saying, been missing for the game for the last 10, 15 years? Now it's here and everybody's enjoying it. We like, obviously they know what they're talking about. It's just, it just makes no sense, man. But we're going to continue to move, man. People got to stop with this stuff, man. We're going to do a quick rundown of the NBA playoffs. You know, just tell me what you think. We'll just go right now. Cleveland and Miami. Cleveland leads Miami 1-0 as of now. Malik, what are your thoughts?
Cleveland is 6, Cleveland 5. Cleveland is 6. I don't think it pushes 7. I don't think Miami's that strong, but I definitely think Cleveland is 6 at worst.
Okay. Wilson.
Yeah, I think Miami, they need another offseason, add a couple more things first, because they need to officially be post Jimmy. Like, I'll like them next year, knowing what that core is, where you got a whole full year of Wiggs off night. Like, I'm gonna like them. I'll feel much if this was a matchup next year. This is one of those dog fights to advance to the next round. You know what I'm saying? But right now, you just got to get Cleveland. I'm with Malik. It shouldn't take too long.
Okay, I agree with you guys. I think the chemistry with Cleveland, they too balanced, they too deep, and the chemistry is just too on point. Next up, the Indiana Pacers with the Bucks. Currently, the Pacers are up 101-91, 10 minutes from going 2-0 on the Bucks. Thoughts on that? Start with you, Wilson.
I think maybe Giannis can get him one. Dolo, maybe. But hey man, the Bucks made some decisions. Decisions have consequences. Hey man, I'm interested to see if Giannis is a Buck next year. So we'll see what happens with this series. But I got the Pacers advancing.
I guarantee you this: Giannis don't think Jrue Holiday overrated. Malik, your thoughts?
Yeah, the Bucks they blew it up. I don't know at what's going on, but yeah, Pacers are 5. I'm gonna say if the Bucks still 2, they still 2. But yeah, Pacers they definitely have a more complete team.
Man, them tax havens, man, can't be cheap these days, baby. You got going. If you want a good team, you got to pay.
Yeah.
And if you got a championship team, you should be more willing to pay. But I digress. Man, we're gonna go to probably my favorite series of the first round: the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. Man, 1-1 going back to Detroit. Wilson, your Knicks. What's going on, man? What's going on,
Not my Knicks,
man?
which is why this series is fun. In another life, I'd be pulling my hair out since I gave away that horrible thing that was Nick fandom. Hey, man, I'd be out here on this limb, and it sounds crazy, and I felt this way going into it. Hey, man, I'm going to take them big, super strong, overpowerful kids to come out of this one, man. Okay, so it's 1-1, right? Mm-hmm. Considering there was a meltdown in game 1 to keep this from being 2-0. And I think that meltdown, some of which is youth. You don't know what the playoffs is until you've been there.
Yep.
Then game 2, we saw, okay, we got a better understanding. But you know what? I don't think's changing in this. Them kids is bigger, stronger, faster, unbothered by the physicality. And I know, like, you know, it's one of the things like, yeah, we're a physical team. All that's great until you play a physical team that like breathes it. You speak it. Jalen Durns, that's 250 just cuz. Kay Cunningham's a big dude in the first quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So I think the kids might upset some things over there in the East.
Malik.
Yeah, this is a beautiful series. Wilson gave the great introduction to how the Pistons are going to win. I want the Pistons to win this series. I want the Pistons to win this series. Pistons in. If it goes 7, the Pistons are going. It's theirs. So Pistons is 7.
Look, man, these young boys not at all no more. They want to eat. They hungry, and I love it. That's how it should be. You know, they don't care nothing about none of that all-star and full champion. So I need that. You in the way. Hell of a series. The physicality, I love that series. That's like, yeah, that's what we grew up watching all the time. That's that is, dog.
Series. Growing up, that was the one.
That's a grown man series. Yeah, that's I like Oakley. Like, yeah, I can see Oakley and all them. Yeah, baby, we back, baby, basketball back, baby. You know what I'm saying? But in all seriousness, it's a close game. It's very close. Yeah, it could easily be 2-0 either way. Karl-Anthony Towns got to meet the physicality. They need him to.
You gotta play big. You gotta play big.
They need him to meet the physicality, man. It's a combination of him and it's a combination of Jalen Brunson understanding when to be a true point guard and when to go get his. Because he got in the mode last night, like last year, Hartenstein and Dante and all them was still there, where they can kind of cover up his misses, and if the team make a couple turnovers, because they're going to get the hustle points, the 50-50 balls, offensive putback or whatnot. Carl's not that type of player. You got to utilize him. With that being said, you don't need a play call for you or play ran for you to go get an offensive rebound and score. You can easily find a way to impact the game in various ways. Or hell, go get 20 rebounds. They needed a rebound. You know, like it's multiple ways where you can help your team and stuff like that. But they gotta talk and get on the same page, man. Because right now, he starts off strong, but he fades as the game goes along, and that's what you see. That's why you need physicality in the game, because it separates the men from the boys. Not saying Karl Towns is a boy. That's not what I'm saying. Where you see who really won it. Because think about it. By the time the fourth quarter ended, the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, if you play enough minutes, everybody beat up and tired. It ain't one player that's not beat up and tired, dog. But who got this? And who's still going to use that? Who got that? Who got the mental toughness and smarts, and who got the heart to just keep coming, to will their team to win, and then be able to sustain that and come back and do it till you win 4 and move on. Who got that? That's what separate players. That's when you look at the all-time list, you see players with the accolades, and you be like, they deserve their spot because they got it done. More times than not in those situations where other players and teams faded. That's the difference, man. Karl-Anthony Towns is key. He got to meet that with force. He got to, and that's the stigma with him. It's like, let's call it what it is. He could be a little soft. See what I'm saying? that ain't gonna work against these Pistons because they don't care. And think about it, y'all lost and Isaiah Stewart didn't play last night. Now you go back to the crib, they're gonna be on one now. The one thing I'm nervous about with the Pistons is they going back to the crib. It's a sense of urgency, but they could be overconfident and then mess around and they lose game 3. Now it's pressure. Like, damn, we got to get the next one because we can't go back to New York down 3-1. It's a wrap then. You see what I'm saying? So game 3 is going to be pivotal, but they need Karl Towns to be Karl Towns like he was in the playoffs last year, hitting shots. And he got to play big. Meet that physicality because that's the only way you get the bullies up off you in basketball, bro. Like, if they feel like they can keep punishing you, you don't fight back, they're going to keep punishing you. Now, when they punishing you and you still doing what you do, you break them. You break them, and then they looking at the coach like, I ain't nothing I can do but be dirty because we can't stop them. We hitting them. We don't. And then by the time you get to trying to figure out strategies to play basketball, the series over. We don't want. All you can do is take your ass whooping like a man. And that's just where it's at. But if he don't wake up, they not going to win the series, period. Next one, Boston Celtics in Orlando. Malik.
I seen something about Jason Tatum being doubtful or something like that. But, I mean, I like the Celtics in the series. The Magic are strong enough to win a game. Still a game, so win 2 at most. But I like the Celtics. It's no doubt Celtics.
Wilson.
Yeah, even with his injury, that's where the luxury of what's that guy y'all keep just disrespecting, having folks like Drew Holiday and stuff on your team. Why it matters, because if you're missing one of your key guys for a moment, they have the ability to step in and help the group, him, the Derek Whites, the Peyton Pritchards, to make up for it. But also just, I think Orlando, like we talk about Miami, I think Orlando is probably off season away for another reason. Like, they got to add shooting to that team, and against good defensive teams, that's a nasty flaw that I don't think you can really overcome until you have it. So yeah, I'm with Boston out of that.
Yeah, I don't think they're ready to knock off the defending champs yet. Even outside of the shooting, man, that plays a part too. They got to learn how to operate in the half court. They got to learn how to operate in the half court, man. The regular season shot selections and just feeding off Paulo and friends and hoping they figure something out, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. Not especially against the Celtics. You don't have no chance. And that's the other part of the youth guys. Like, their game it's like what we're gonna get to about the Houston Warriors, their game, but playoffs a different ball game when they slow that thing down. Now you got to execute and have the smarts to operate in the half court. It's one of them things you had to have been there to understand. And the way that the game is played today throughout the regular season, they're so ill prepared to adjust because they've been playing a certain style that has worked. Now it's like, damn, ain't none of this shit working. We really got to play balanced basketball, and they're not equipped to even play that. So it's going to be tough to see them get a game this series. Obviously, if injuries pile up, because Jaylen Brown's also banged up, but if injuries continue to pile up, then they obviously get shift. But right now, you got to see Boston is definitely the heavy favorite. Moving on to the Western Conference, then we're going to get up out of here. Oklahoma City and Memphis, man. Malik.
Yeah.
OKC up currently 90-79 as the third quarter is about to end. About a quarter away from here, going up to what's your thoughts?
OKC in 4. The Memphis just doesn't have enough to. The OKC's been a complete team this year. Whether SGA's playing, whether he's not playing, they're winning games with him, they're winning games without him. So they're probably going to have to run into somebody with a little bit more veteran style orders, whether it be a veteran style coach or the more veteran style players on the team that they can run into and get problems with. But Memphis right now is just not the team that's going to give them a problem.
Wilson.
Yeah, man, it's almost like, firing a coach is kind of crazy. A couple weeks before the playoffs and stuff, and who knew? Consequences. Yeah. Friday, what was it, 40 or 50 in game 1?
51.
Bro, there was a point in the game where the margin of victory was higher than the points you had on the scoreboard. Because I sat there and it took me a while to process that, and I kept repeating it to myself for like an hour because I could not process it. go home, figure out what you want to do. Hit the big purple button, not the red button. Hit the purple button. Yeah.
That and also the leadership from the players. I was looking at y'all late in the season, and the NBA came down on him about the celebration. He getting mad about that, switching the celebration up and all that just to get back. And it's like, homie, it's time to lock in, man. Y'all ain't had a good season. You cost your coach your job. Leave all that petty stuff alone. You're the leader. You're the franchise. So when you distracted by petty stuff, what you think everybody else gonna be on? And now you see the fruition of that. You got embarrassed, bro. That's it got to be the worst loss in playoff history. You got to be. Bro, you losing 51. It's like, hey, come on, man. That's not heard of, bro. And Jaren Jackson's too good for that, man. So it's hard, man. And I'm like, they asking for it. They asking for that thing to be blown up, and then you're gonna be up out of there, and you're gonna have to go to another situation where you're not the guy no more. You're a co-guy, or you're part of the supporting cast, and that's when you're gonna look back at the opportunity, as we have seen throughout the years with a lot of young teams who didn't appreciate what they have and realize, damn, I wish I would have did this different. I wish we could have did this different, but it's too late. So better buckle down, try to salvage what they can. But I just don't see them being this monster, man. OKC can fully win it all. And what's sad is, and it usually happens like this in sports, especially in the NBA, it's just cold like this. The opportunity and chance that you squandered, you usually end up facing a team that beats you, be in a position that you should be in. It's just cruel like that. You see what I'm saying? It's just like that, man. We've seen it happen plenty of times, man. Like, we saw Phoenix, but it wasn't their fault, injuries and stuff. We saw Phoenix kind of be the Warriors early with a better power forward than Amari Stoudemire, but they just got banged up. We saw the Orlando Magic in the 90s be on the verge, and then Shaq went to LA, and then pretty much Kobe did what became a penny in that situation. You know what I'm saying? They went through it. It's like a whole bunch of what else, man. So you gotta appreciate what you have while you have it. You know what I'm saying? Because now you supposed to be what OKC is now. 2-3 years ago, we was like, oh, Memphis, they on their way, they coming. Now it's just like, man, I wonder if they're gonna blow it up now, because it looks like y'all stuck in quicksand. So it's gonna be interesting how the series goes, man. Next up, Denver Nuggets and the Clippers, man, which has been a beautiful series, tied 1-1, going back to LA. Wilson.
Man, if I got the Clippers, if Andrew can, remain healthy. The Clippers got a good group, man. I know, while he was out, and then when they put him back into the mix late in the season and they got rolling, that's just a really good, deep team. And for petty reasons, I'm gonna leave some of this alone, but I love their young center. It continues to get better. Big Zoo out here. That goes a long way. Obviously, you're not gonna be able to match Joker, point for point, impact for impact, but just having a guy that can make him work or make Denver pay inside at times, like Zoo takes up space. Zoo's also as a physical being. Yeah, man, I like the Clippers a lot. And then, the Nuggets in this situation, you see what they're going through. Like, see MPJ looks like he's trying to find some type of footing or whatever. He's not the only one over there. They just look, again, another team where the decisions they made, what have you, they look a little out of it. I expect them to do better than the Grizzlies, obviously, because of the caliber of players they have steering, but I like the Clippers of this one.
Well,
I like the Nuggets. Around no 5-game series, around 6 or 7. I'm really high on Joker. You've seen Jamal Murray in older years in playoff series really take over, really close games out, really be a better product of what he is right now. And we've seen it at times in different series. So just them two alone, them two plus the supporting cast they have at different times. Russell Westbrook, a guy. So just those three leaders right there, I think they're gonna take LA down.
This is tough, man. This is an extremely tough one. I think Zubac, the production he's giving them, averaging 18, 12, and 3. That's about as best you can do to try to match what Jokic's doing. It makes Jokic have to play both ends. So that's playing into the Clippers' hands, and the Clippers defensively are getting after it. Ironically, I think their bench need to step up a little bit more. But I'm looking at, Harden, man. He can't have one of them series where he fades at the end. They're gonna lose. He has to sustain what he's been doing. And like you said, Kawhi just stay healthy. What Kawhi's doing right now, I don't think any player can maintain. The boys averaging 34 and 3, 2.5 steals on 70% from the field, 50% from 3, and 100% from the free throw line. Like, that's insane, dog. Like that's ridiculous, man. So he's doing his part. They just need James shut on the turnovers, hold up defensively, and just make the right plays when the time is there. Because sometimes he, in the clutch, the first 2 games, there's been moments where he looking shaky. I'm like, dog, what's going on? Like, you about to cost them. But then Kawhi, came to the rescue in the second game. So it could easily be 2-0 either way, and that's how close it is. But with them going back home, that could be an X factor for the Clippers, man. So we're gonna see. I don't know which way I'm going with that yet, man. It's tough. That's close. Next one is Minnesota and LA. Minnesota's 1-0. They play later on tonight. Malik.
LA. We go LA. They're gonna get it together. Luka, LeBron James, JJ Redick, they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna figure out. They Memphis, I said Memphis, Minnesota, they had a great game 1, absolutely. They hit a lot of 3-pointers. They did a lot of things well. They were on fire. But I don't think Anthony Edwards has enough with him this year to take them out.
Wilson.
I like Minnesota in this one. I just think they present the things that Lakers don't really have right now. Like, I know when they made a trade and, because the Lakers kind of took off, nobody really, talked about the glaring issue inside because, they were playing well and it was wonderful and it was great. But it's the playoffs. Numerous times, we talked about, you mentioned what the playoffs are versus what the regular season is. Minnesota size all over the court. We know how tough it is. You put the talents of LeBron and Luka together. That's a lot to deal with. That said, if you're putting together a roster or a team defensively to deal with it or try to slow that down, it's going to look something like Minnesota. So I know, it's easy to be like, they had 21 threes, whatever, in game 1, and that's great. But I also think one of the biggest things is like the continued development of Jaden McDaniels is huge for Minnesota. I think he's taking a step quietly each year, and that goes a long way. And I also think it's learning to do a better job with making teams pay for the type of attention they give to him. But yeah, I trust Minnesota a little bit more. So that's where I'm at with it.
Yeah, obviously the Lakers are at the record because they got 2 all-world dudes that can make any read on the floor. But the thing is, Minnesota got the people that can challenge them and attack them. And I think that's how you beat the Lakers. You make LeBron and Luka have to play both ends. When they can rest on defense, so to speak, they're gonna dissect you because they got the energy. Also, like you said, the size and athleticism of the Minnesota, I don't think people understand. Jaden McDaniels 6'11" playing the 3. Naz Reid 6'10", 6'11". Julius Randle 6'9". Rudy Gobert 7'2". Ant-Man, he's 6'4", but he's a freak athlete, so he plays much bigger than what he is. Then you coming in like, they got size galore. Then you got the just dogs coming off the bench, and you know Dante and Q Alexander Walker, you know Jalen Clark, young boy, they just get after defensively. They got them all, man. They do, and I think that bothers, like you said, the one great thing you brought up is inside the Lakers center, Jackson Hayes and Alex Len. You know what I mean? Come on now, like nobody on the Wolves should fear that. No disrespect. Like I'm looking at that inside, like man, please. So the other four guys, you're gonna have to guard there, and they're capable. We know Dorian Finney-Smith can guard. Jared Vanderbilt, that's what he's on the team for, to kind of mix it up and guard and get stops and stuff like that. But can they give you enough on both ends? And the answer, it's no, man. Like I don't expect Minnesota to shoot as well as they did from three, like they did in the first game. But I expect them to be pretty efficient, 35 to 40%. And that should be enough if they're allowed to play the defense that they were allowed to play in game one. That's the other thing. Now, if they call it indifferent, like it's capable of being when you're dealing with certain players, then it can get interesting. And yeah, that's real. The phantom calls with LeBron drives and put his shoulder into you, and now he's going to the free throw line. No, if you let him play, I think Minnesota has the edge. But regardless, we know that's going to come. Minnesota got to stay poised and continue to execute, man. But I think Minnesota has the edge because of their size and versatility, and because how they can impact both ends. They have the edge, but LeBron and Luka dangerous, man. So if they get on the heater, it could be tough, especially Luka. I saw what he did to the Mall last year, so but that was last year. You know what I mean? It's different now. You don't have a one-on-one guy like a Kyrie to really offset that. As good as LeBron is, he's not that type of one-on-one player. He gets his within the flow and outsmart you, moving without the ball. Then he get his in a lot of various ways. But like I said, make Luka and LeBron have to guard you. And Minnesota's fully capable of Jaden McDaniels and Naz Reid, them guys, and man, those guys are hitting shots. And we're gonna move on to, I believe, the last one, Houston and Golden State. We got here, Wilson.
We'll go Golden State just because they've been here too many times. I just went the Rockets, another one of those. Let me see what you do this offseason, and I feel a lot better about you come next year in the first round, because I think some of the things that might be out there are some of the things this young group needs. They don't have it currently on their roster. That said, Golden State's not exactly like, they're 7 seed for a reason. But I think it's that Houston needs another offseason. I go with Stefano.
Malik.
Yeah, I agree as well with Wilson. The NBA is not like NFL where it's one game playoffs. It's matchups. It's games. It's a series of games. It's win one, we get another one. So I think the Warriors have the more experience to beat this Rockets team. I don't think Steve Kerr calls the best plays to close out games and things like that such. But I don't think the Rockets are going to get enough close games to where that's going to matter in this series for them to be able to win games. So yeah, Warriors in 6.
Houston can't play in the half court, and that's why I was like them youngins. They don't know how to play. You could just see the shot selection they had in the first half and stuff. It was just a matter of the Warriors adjusting to their physicality, and once they did, they were surgical and just broken down. Like you notice if you watch the game, even in the first half when Houston was up, Houston was trying to run at make some minutes. They were trying to run. The Warriors there. I'm gonna take my time. We not getting a foot race with y'all because that's how y'all gonna beat us. And as the game progressed, the pace of the game catered to what the Warriors were trying to do, and then they just dissected them. Now Steph was hitting Steph shots. He was hitting Steph shots, but the Warriors defense, a lot of people don't know, since they acquired Jimmy Butler, is the #1 defense in the league. So you're making it a half-court game on both ends. So now Houston has to try to execute. They don't shoot. They don't have the experience to understand what type of shot they need at a given moment. And it showed as the game progressed. And that's why the Warriors was able to take them out. And I don't see that really changing, man. because that's been the Achilles heel. They don't have enough veteran experience. They need another outside Van Vliet who's been there before. You know, I mean, you got Steven Adams and Joe Green. Joe Green didn't even play in the first game. You just got Steven Adams. He played 20 minutes. You know what I mean? But you need somebody that can orchestrate and set up things on the perimeter. You don't have the outside Van Vliet, and he got his hands full dealing with Steph. Look, they shot 39% from the field, 20% from deep, and 55% from the line in game one. And to me, outside of Steph going off, Jimmy came on late as well. Their role players didn't really do too much. They could still play better. They could still reach another level, and that's why I feel like the Rockets don't have a chance, because they already just got one off your home court, and they didn't even play their best basketball. And you don't have the know-how to try to match that. You're gonna have to try it. So you're not gonna get that in whatever can happen in a first round series. That's just something you're gonna have to go through. You know, as you take L's, man. It's just something you gotta go through the fire with.
Growing.
And even similar to what you're seeing with the Thompson brother in New York. I saw Thompson with Detroit, how Jalen Brunson fouled him out. Amen. Look, they do the best job on the head guy. Like Thompson in Detroit, he does the best job on Jalen Brunson. Amen does the best job on Steph out on the Rockets, but he get in foul trouble, and it tires you out. So if you end up on the bench in foul trouble, you can't defend. Now Steph gonna get going, and it don't take much, and then you two drain offensively to try to make up for it, and you're not that great of a shooter as is right at this point in your career anyway. So it's just too many flaws and too much lack of experience from the Rockets for them to make this. Honestly, to me, a long series, unless the Warriors just implode from within or get hurt or something like that. So, yeah, I definitely got the Warriors.
Yeah, man, and again, just to repeat, the second season is much different than the regular season. The issues you have where teams can avoid playing within the half court for long stretches of the season and it not be a huge flaw or cost them deeply or dearly. That's how you get sent home. You know, you talk about Orlando. They need to find somebody that's able to organize them in the half court.
One last thing.
Go ahead.
Houston oldest player is Van Vliet. He's 30. The Warriors have 5 players 32 or older. You see what I'm saying? Like they Al Perun 22, Amen 22, Jalen Green 22, Tari Eason 23, Jabari Smith 21. They're young, man. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah,
so all that physical stuff that they trying to do was like, really? Yeah, y'all go ahead and spend all that energy hitting on me. Go ahead. We'll see if you're there in the fourth quarter.
Gotta love it. We appreciate you guys for checking in this week. We'll tap in with you guys next week. Can't wait to see what all of those series look like next week. Definitely looking forward to see Octavius break down the NFC East after everybody has their draft hauls. Hope all of you guys get your respective wish lists fulfilled in this week's draft. But y'all have a good week. We will see y'all soon. Don't forget to get over to the Roku channel to get all the content that we have for you guys. And again, we're like, what, a month out, a couple weeks, WNBA regular season from starting. All that good stuff is here, man. So y'all have a good one.
Absolutely.